Hey, what is up, everybody? Solid day yesterday to end off the month of April. We finished off 7-1 to cap off April for us. It was a bad month all in all, but we finished on a hot run. So let's keep that rolling into May. If you know what I'm saying. Yesterday, no NBA basketball swoop with a full USFL straight 4-1. Nearly swept that hoe, except the second best statistical receiver in the league, Osiris Mitchell, had 0 catches. He had 3 targets, 0 catches, got nowhere close to his total. But everyone else hit for us. Our lock of the day, Kyle Slaughter, needed to go over 207 passing yards. He ends up doing that. Jordan Ellis, he had a monster day. I think he almost had 100 yards rushing. His line was set at 62. CJ Marble just barely went under on his 46.5 yards, but he went under, and that's what we needed. And Mark Thompson, the Houston Gamblers' leading rusher, he had a monster game. I think he had like 150-something yards rushing. He went off big time. So we absolutely crushed it yesterday with the USFL. Even with my limited knowledge, when you really throw it back, like I'm a football guy, like from the beginning, from the get-go. Like I love betting football the most. It was really fun to get back into the football type of things yesterday. But we did really well yesterday at the USFL. Today we start off NBA conference semifinals. So we will get into that conference semifinals action, and let's get into it. Let's get it. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, make sure that you there's a link down in the description I have that automatically takes you to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy. Also throws in my TAKEMYSHOT code when you guys sign up for that. So when you make your first deposit, it helps me out big time, as well as it gives you a 100% deposit match up to $100. So if you throw in $20, for example, you'll get actually $40, and they'll give you another $23 just to bet on for funsies, a little risk-free bets for fun. And so that is always nice as well to get those risk-free bets. Also helps me out, like I said, big time if you guys use my code TAKEMYSHOT. Because all my picks every single day are always going to be Underdog Fantasy picks. I think it's the best player prop betting app out there. With that being said, now let's get to today's picks. All right, baby, coming off the lock of the day, let's get it. My Milwaukee Bucks today take on the Boston Celtics. Should be a heck of a series. Should be a super fun series. I still like Milwaukee, even without Chris Middleton. I think if we had Middleton, we'd get rid of these boys real quick. Everyone's raving about the defense. They're taking on a different beast. It's one thing to try to stop Kevin Durant. It's a whole nother thing to try to stop a freight train in Giannis. I hear there's reports that they're going to put Al Horford on him. That's not going to last very long. Tatum did a great job, don't get me wrong, against defending Kevin Durant the last years. Giannis is just a different beast, man. Best player in the world right now. It's going to be a fun series. At the end of the day, it's going to be a fun series. Boston's depth as well is going to have to step up, because I think Jrue Holiday is going to do a really great job at stopping Jaylen Brown as well as Wesley Matthews, and I think obviously Tatum is going to be matched up with Giannis. So I think both those guys are going to get locked up pretty well by our defense. Like I said earlier in past videos, these two teams match up really well. So it's going to be a really fun series, but let's get into the lock of the day, because that's what we're talking about. Our lock of the day today is going to be coming from a Milwaukee Buck, baby, and his name is not Giannis, and his name is not Jrue Holiday. Give me crazy eyes. Give me Bobby Portis. Our lock of the day today. In his last five matchups versus the Boston Celtics, he's averaging 25 points and rebounds. Also averaging 18 points per game and 7 rebounds, which makes me lean towards his points, which is set at 13.5 points for Bobby Portis. Inserted into the starting lineup with Chris Middleton being out right now. Tore it up in the series versus Chicago, averaging well over 10 rebounds, right up into that 15, 16 points per game range. Had a 17 rebound game in that closeout game. Also had a 16 rebound game in Game 4. He's aggressive. He gets all up on that glass. It's kind of the Boston Celtics' weakness is rebounding. When it comes down to it, when you're looking at what's the weakness for the Boston Celtics, it's definitely rebounding. So I'm liking Bobby Portis to absolutely crush his line. Give me Bobby Portis over 13.5 points today. Next up, give me the under for Jaylen Brown. Yes, I said it. Jaylen Brown under 23.5 points. In their last 5 matchups, Jaylen Brown has only hit his line one time. He's only averaging 21 points per game versus the Bucks. Like I said, he's going to probably be primarily matched up with Jrue Holiday or Wesley Matthews today. I'm taking my chances with those two. Obviously, the primary shot taker for this team is Jason Tatum. I just think Jaylen Brown's going to have a really tough time. They're going to throw our great perimeter defenders at him, because they're going to put Giannis and Bobby Portis on Jason Tatum. So I'm assuming They're going to put Wesley Matthews, even Grayson Allen at times. He's a really good defender. So I think Jaylen Brown's going to have a really tough night tonight when it comes to the perimeter defense of the Bucks. And history shows it. Only hitting it one time back on Christmas Day. Other these times getting shut down for 18, 19, 22. Only averaging 21 in the last 5 games versus the Bucks. So I'm liking Jaylen Brown's under today of under 23.5 points. Let's lock that one in. If I'm going to be real quick, I'm going to stay away from Giannis for this first game. Giannis, historically, actually hasn't had the greatest performances versus Boston. It was with Chris Middleton, though, is the thing. So I want to see how Boston's going to defend Giannis, knowing that Giannis is obviously the primary shot taker. So I want to kind of see how Boston is going to attack this. I don't think they're going to be able to just leave him one-on-one with Jason Tatum, kind of like what they were doing with Durant last year. Like I said, Durant and Giannis are two completely different offensive players. So I really want to see. I think you'd be completely wrong to go under because obviously he's going to have to take a massive load today. And I don't think you could go wrong with going over on anything for Giannis, especially points. But I just kind of want to see how it plays out. So I'm going to stay away from Giannis today. But that will lead us into our third pick of the day. Give me Jordan Poole's under 18.5 points. Last 2 games for him, he's really struggled. Just 11 points, 8 points. He's just not getting the shot attempts. And he's kind of fading into the background just a little bit with this Golden State Warriors team. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson getting back into their own. They tried the Death Con lineup or whatever. Really wasn't all that effective when it comes down to it. And Jordan Poole is kind of not having the success he was having earlier in the series. So today they're taking on the Memphis Grizzlies with great perimeter defense. Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, John Morant, all those guys are really good perimeter defenders. So obviously they're going to put Dylan Brooks on Steph or Klay, and they'll put the primary guys. So I think the matchup's going to be Jordan Poole on John Morant, which I like that matchup a lot. I still think John Morant's a pretty good defender, even though he's a great offensive player. Still think he's a great perimeter defender. So I like the chances for Jordan Poole tonight to go under 18.5 points. Also, the game is in Memphis. It's not in Golden State for this one. So obviously role players and those off guys don't shoot as good on the road. So I'm going to take the chances for Jordan Poole under 18.5 today versus the Memphis Grizzlies. I am going to throw this out there. It is worth noting, obviously, Memphis played Golden State last year in the playoffs, or I guess in the play-in, technically. Yeah, it was kind of a heck of a battle. Steph Curry absolutely demolished them last year. Was averaging 38 points per game in the last 5 matchups, and a couple of those include their playoff matchups from last year. 46, 39, 36, 46 earlier this season. 27 was his worst game he's had so far, and that was back on January 1st of this year. So I wouldn't say I would say Steph Curry's points over today over 27.5 is a pretty solid lock today, honestly. But I like to just stick with my solid 3 slips, and we're gonna go with that. But I'm gonna throw that one also into the ringer. All right, baby, that means it's time for our perfect 3 slip. Let's get it. Our lock of the day: Crazy Eyes Bobby Portis over 13.5 points. Also gonna put in the little brackets there that you could probably go with his PR or his points and rebounds. He's averaging 25 in the last 5 matchups. He's aggressive on the glass, and when Giannis gets off the floor, he kind of turns into a pretty good offensive weapon for us. So I think points and rebounds also isn't a bad move. Next up, give us our Jordan Poole under 18.5 points today versus the Memphis Grizzlies. He's fading into the background with these 2 all-star superstars on his team, liking the chances of him going under today versus Memphis. And then give me the under for Jaylen Brown, 23.5 points today versus Milwaukee. Has struggled historically, only averaging 21 points per game. Jaylen Brown is going to be matched up primarily with Drew Holiday, Wesley Matthews, Grayson Allen. I love that perimeter defense versus him. So give us the under on Jaylen Brown, 23.5 points. 2 unders today. More unders than I have overs. First time I think I've ever done that. But I'm liking the matchups, and that's what I'm going to expose today. So give me that as our perfect 3 slip today. Hey, man, that's going to wrap up today's video. Brand new month. Fresh, clean slate. Let's get it popping. Let's have a month of May like we had in March. Just about finished even to end off April. So let's start off May on a hot note with these Eastern Conference and Western Conference semifinal games. Solid 3 picks today. Got a couple of unders. I think people are going to be probably fading me today. But when we come back tomorrow and I clean sweep with my unders, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. But with that being said, guys, that'll wrap up today's video. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.